Nicole.
Welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Oh,
Good. Good to see you
Yes.
guys.
you
Yeah,
too. Thanks for joining us again today for Let's Talk Gut Health.
Glad to be here.
This is where we
yeah.
talk about real life health challenges. You get to ask us whatever questions you like. We're talking today on the topic of digestion. Dr. Phil, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, we invite people to join us each week to share their thoughts about any topic about gut health, how it relates to stress, as well as brain health, and anything else that ails you. We provide an open forum for discussion and a safe space to discuss whatever we want to talk about as it relates to gut health. This week, we're trying to uncover why we have issues with digestion. We're curious with our audience and Nikole, who's joining us this week. What is the most troubling symptom that you have or that you feel many people have? Is it bloating? Is it gas? Is it constipation or diarrhea? Or is it acid reflux? What are your thoughts, Nikole?
For me, I'm good. I'm great. I actually wanted to get your input on my dad, who's doing
Oh,
amazing
okay.
with the whole PD thing, but he's had issues with his gut, GERD, and constipation was a big deal. He's taking supplementations to help with that, and it seems to be helping. It seems to be working, but he's also taking what his doctor put him on, which is Senna.
Mm.
He's also taking, when he feels he needs it, Miralax. So if you take three things for the same issue, could it cause constipation? Could it cause that opposite effect?
That's a great question. Miralax and Senna are certainly not my go-to for constipation fixes. It's natural when people have Parkinson's disease that they have constipation because of the way that the bowel is affected with Parkinson's. It's very difficult to deal with constipation. The answer to your question is that it's not going to cause constipation when you mix three or more things together, but you have to understand what are the side effect profile of the medications and things that you're taking. It's understandable, and I believe that the medication or the things that you're trying him on are certainly helping him naturally. It's important to get the gut moving as well as possible, so perhaps some type of motility type of things may be beneficial. Some of the things that can help are ginger, garlic as well. But ginger definitely is a motility agent. There are some over-the-counter things that you can use to increase motility. The name escapes me right now, which ones are good for motility, but I can look them up and get back to you on that. Terry, what do you
Please.
think?
I have a lot of thoughts about this because I was one of those people who, when I was having these food sensitivities, I went to my alternative medicine clinic and they took an x-ray of me. And he said, "Do you know why you're so backed up?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I have one really healthy bowel movement every single day. What are you talking about?" He goes, "No, you are actually constipated. Your x-ray is showing." I'm like, "What?" This gave me a lot of insight into how I'm going to go about answering your questions. A lot of the things that I have done, and this was recommended by the practitioner as well, is to begin taking apple cider vinegar with the mother in it to help prepare the digestive system for food. That's been my go-to since day one of getting that advice. Before a meal, I'll take a tablespoon. I wouldn't start with a tablespoon. I would start with maybe 1 teaspoon and eventually work up to a tablespoon. Straight up, I take it within 5 minutes before I eat. A lot of people don't like the taste of it, so sometimes they'll add it to water. If you add it to water, this is the critical thing. You would want to drink that up to 30 minutes before a meal. The mistake that a lot of people make is they drink a lot of liquids with their meals. And as a result of that, that can dilute the stomach acid. So we don't want to do that. When I go out to dinner, I never order a drink. I don't even drink water until maybe after my meal a little bit. It's because I want my stomach acid to be really potent to break down whatever is about to come in. Another thing that I have done every single morning, and this particular practitioner says, yeah, you can do this too, is in the morning I'll have lemon juice in my water with my electrolytes and a little bit of salt. Salt mixed with lemon juice can have a laxative effect too on the body. So this is one of the things that I actually start my morning routine with: lemon water, salt, and electrolytes. That's also to prepares the body for food. If you think of it, lemon juice and apple cider vinegar are very acidic, but in the gut create more of an alkaline environment, and they definitely can help with digestion and constipation issues. So that has been something that I've been enlightened about for a long time and is my go-to. That's my main one. The other thing that has helped me is I am a big proponent of gut diversity and getting as many dark leafy greens and fiber into my diet through natural foods as much as possible. As we get older, sometimes those raw vegetables are harder for us to digest. For people who are older, I'll say try cooked ones first, like having them in soups instead of eating them raw, especially like raw broccoli. I actually never eat raw broccoli. I just cook it a little bit, not thoroughly, not make it mushy, but just enough to make it more digestible because that's a really fibrous vegetable. Another thing that you have to be aware of is when people are not used to eating a lot of high fibrous foods, they don't have the gut microbes in their gut to digest them. So you have to start small amounts. I added psyllium husk to my regimen as another remedy to help with motility. But adding psyllium husk, you got to make sure you are drinking a lot of liquids throughout the day, normally water. A lot of older people don't drink enough water. They're typically not drinking it with the salt and the electrolytes as well. If you drink a lot of water, you're just going to urinate it out. You want the water to be hydrating your cells. So that's why the salt, just a little bit, is important, and electrolytes that can help digestion. Then, of course, movement is such another key.
He moves.
If your dad has problems with getting around himself, that is certainly going to have an effect on his digestive tract, making it more sluggish. So, those are just some things that came off the top of my head that I wanted to share with you. Anything else that popped into you, Dr. Phil, as I was talking?
You mentioned some really good things. Certainly, digestive enzymes or things to break down the food. Acid is really important, and lemon water to stimulate bile flow, and things like exercise. Obviously, hydration is really important. Your dad seems compromised in a number of ways. I'm not sure what medications he's taking, which could also affect his. Oh, he's not. He's not taking any medications. That's great. Okay. Because though Parkinson meds can definitely slow things down.
He didn't need those, thankfully.
Oh, okay, thankfully. So which of those things are have you tried or are you willing to give it a go for?
I'm thinking, I don't know if he'll do the apple cider vinegar. Some of these things I'm going to use myself. But for him, I'm thinking the water with the lemon juice. Do you use fresh squeezed lemon juice or is it store-bought lemon juice?
I use the freshly squeezed. I have a lemon squeezer.
Hmm.
It makes it super simple that way.
Okay. I'm
Otherwise,
thinking,
a juicer, if you have a standard juicer, you can just get that juice out of the lemon that way. But then
Yeah,
I
so
save the lemon. I don't eat it right away because it'll actually elevate my blood sugar. A lot of people don't realize that they can. I'm really sensitive to carbs, so I eat it with my salad in the evening. I save the lemon, so I'm not wasting it. I don't like to waste food. Another thing that I've done is take that lemon, puree it, keep that puree in your refrigerator and add a little bit throughout the day. That's really tasty. You can even puree it with something like mint leaves. You get a little extra fiber, a little more gut bug diversity. It can make plain water taste better too.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm thinking the lemon water with the salt. Obviously, I'm a big believer in the light gray Celtic sea salt. I put a pinch of that in my water for all the minerals. I'm thinking he should be able to mix his fix with that as well. I'm able to take my supplements with the fix without it affecting the Varicel, which is the other stuff he takes. That's got to be taken without supplements, I'm told, like 15 minutes after you take your fix. So there's a method to our madness, but I'm thinking I could add lemon water and the salt.
I just thought of another thing that I don't take, but I know it's often used, magnesium citrate.
I think he takes magnesium, but you said
Me.
citrate?
That's
Help,
specifically for digestion.
Okay.
helps more with constipation.
Yeah,
So that works.
on an empty
Um,
stomach.
Okay. I don't want to give him too much stuff to do. Put another
Right.
problem in our hands.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. It might feel good at the moment, but get
Yeah.
you cleaned out.
We're not trying to detox him on one day.
No, I think that one thing at a time, maybe give
Yeah.
something a try and maybe a few days later try something else to see what works and what doesn't work. Everybody's unique and different, so not everybody's going to respond the same way. But the point is, there are many things that can be done to stimulate the gut. The problem is that with the illness, with Parkinson's itself, it affects the receptors in the gut. So all these things we're doing can be helpful. It's similar to what we have with SIBO, which is a reflection of irritable bowel syndrome. We want to increase gut motility. The things that we're doing, adding the lemon water and increasing the diversity of the microbes, we actually may need to do things to stimulate the gut motility and help the emptying of the small intestine, the large intestine. That's why I'm thinking of other types of things as well as the things that Terry mentioned. There's a broad array of things that can be done.
One of the most constipating foods you can eat are refined sugars, carbs, and ultra-processed
Yeah.
foods. So getting those out of the diet is important to alleviate constipation.
Well, and I think the problem with that when my mom goes shopping for him, she buys him yogurt, and I use that term loosely, or protein drinks. I'm looking at these, I'm like, this is garbage. I'm like, Mom, look at the sugars in here. Every morning for breakfast, I'll have a banana and a bowl of cereal, Cheerios
Oh.
or cornflakes, which we know are
Mm.
horrible for us.
Mm.
Mom's like, we lived 80 something years and Cheerios. I'm like, it's not made the same way it was years. It's changed, but I'm
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, it's so hard sometimes for older people to be open to new information that they haven't heard. I
Yes.
totally understand that because I was a Cheerios banana skim milk eater for many years, thinking, oh, I'm really eating healthy until I
Yeah.
started going into the research and discovering not so much, Terry.
It's enlightening for sure.
Right. I was just in a conversation recently with somebody who talked about the protein shakes. I recommended that he stop eating a while back because of all the different ingredients that were in those protein shakes. Then recently had a conversation with him again, and he said, I still haven't given up quite yet. I've reduced it considerably, but he was still having some issues. So we revisited that because sometimes you need to actually eliminate it altogether because you don't know all those things that are creating inflammation in the body, right? We can have immune response to any food actually,
Right.
but we know for sure that refined sugars and carbs do increase inflammation. That's the easiest thing to remove from the diet, the refined sugars, refined carbs, and the ultra processed food. Those are no-brainers. These are not helping. These are creating more problem. There's actually a lot of research linking people with high intake of refined sugars and carbs to Parkinson's. I don't know
Oh,
if you
well,
heard
treat
that.
them. My husband, at least two of his meals a day that he chooses to do himself is off the charts refined sugars and ultra processed garbage. But I make sure he has a balanced dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. So is it affecting him?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, he goes to his doctor, he gets his regular checkup, he goes to the VA, his blood sugar's fine, his heart rate, everything is great across the board. But if I ate that way, I would probably be in a hospital bed.
Yeah, which speaks to our bio-individuality and the fact that some of us are more resilient than others, right? Depending on how many cuts we already have, right?
Right.
And their genetics, of course, plays a role in that too. But genetics, I've heard as little as 2% contributing, and then I've heard as high as 20%
Yeah.
contributing to whatever
Yeah.
illnesses or diseases are expressed in the
I've
person.
heard that too. Oh, I
Yeah,
have cholesterol because it runs in my family. No, that's not why you have it.
right.
You might be right, it runs in your family, but at the end of the day, we're all responsible for our own way we do to our bodies.
Right.
I would know about genetic, but more prone to
Hmm.
maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
Another
I think
thing I wanted to mention, I'll just finish, is sometimes we can have different parasites that come into play. And I was recommended myself to start taking oregano oil last year. So I take that. I take it underneath my tongue a couple times a day. And it's a great immune booster that can help to die off the more harmful bacteria and build up the immune system. Of course, I say that knowing that, again, everybody's by individual and trying that may or may not be helpful to your dad, but certainly for me, it was worth trying.
Right.
a
So,
lot of things that we've talked about. Obviously, we talked about diet, we've talked about other things we can do to help to stimulate the gut. And we've talked about some of the factors, whether it be parasites or microbial diversity. There's many things that can affect how our gut moves. I think that we need to pay attention to the signaling that our body is giving us. Now, it's important to be aware of what's in the food, the ingredients. We talked about protein shakes may be contaminated with lead or other heavy metals. Looking at the ingredients and seeing what's exactly in there. Whatever is on the label may not necessarily be in the particular product. I wanted to at least give you an opportunity, Nikole, to ask if there's anything else that you had questions about or that you wanted to talk about in the remaining minutes that we have left.
I don't. I'm just so grateful. You guys are just amazing. Plethora of information. Getting my dad's health back for me is important.
oh
Almost losing him in January. That was a tough road to go down. And I've got him back, but he's a work in progress.
yeah. Okay, for sure. Is there any part besides the constipation that he's having troubles with that we might be able to help you with?
Everything across the board seems to be lighting up for him. The improvements are fantastic. I actually just got home from their house yesterday, visited with them this weekend, and yeah, he's doing amazing. And of course, this constipation thing gives him a bit of anxiety because he won't go places because he's afraid if he's bound up for 2 or 3 days or 4 days and it hits the fan, so to speak, he's afraid that he doesn't want to be out in public. We're going to a wedding this weekend, and he's like, I'm stopping my Senna, I'm stopping the Miralax. I'm like, keep taking the Varicel because that's important. On the other flip side of that coin, it gives them anxiety.
You're probably helping him to deal with that anxiety in some respects.
Yeah, the fix is actually helping to regulate his nervous system and put him in the parasympathetic mode for almost 10 hours. So I'm like, let's keep doing that too.
Yeah, for anxiety for that situation, I'm thinking of deep breathing. Is he familiar with how to do deep breathing?
I've talked to him about the deep breathing or the somatic stuff to
Yeah.
regulate, but with the fix that stimulates that vagus nerve. So if he's in that rest and digest mode, it helps. But I think adding the breathing would help him physically see and feel.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess you could practice with him and say, hey, take a real deep breath in and hold your breath for 4 seconds and then let it out for 6 seconds. The other thing I found is for people who are non-believers is to imagine him having an imaginary feather, whatever color he chooses to have, and to imagine to keep that feather elevated for 30 seconds. By doing short, quick breaths, try to keep that feather up in the air for 30 seconds. And after 30 seconds, ask him how he feels. May get him to think about breathing in a different fashion.
Okay, that's great.
Another thing I was just thinking, I don't know if he'd be willing to do it, but something that can really settle you down in the moment is the legs up against the wall at a 90-degree angle. He
Yeah, he
won't do
can't
it.
do that. Can't do that. His mobility, he goes to PD classes, gone
Okay.
through occupational and physical therapy. They're done. He's gotten that far.
Okay.
He's not that mobile yet.
Yeah. Okay.
He won't get up off the ground.
Oh, okay.
It's time to wrap things up, and we
Thank you
appreciate
so
your
much.
contribution here today, Nikole. So, what's one thing you're going to take home with you today about gut health or about what you've learned?
I'm taking home a giant paper with a lot of notes on it. I think the biggest thing that resonated with me that is doable for him is the lemon water with the salt, the good salt, not your table salt.
Good. There's one salt that's out there that I haven't tried yet. I've heard it's supposed to be even better than Celtic, Baja Gold mineral salt. That might be another one to take a look at. I haven't taken a look at it yet because I never see it in the stores. I think you have to order it online and it's more expensive than the Celtic. If you go on Pinterest, for example, there's a lot of remedies for constipation that have to do with salt and lemons together. That certainly can be something to look into further. Thank you
So,
so
please
much for joining
join.
us,
Thank you for
Nicole.
what's our
We
topic
are
next week?
doing how stress affects the gut next week.
There, you can put your anxiety piece together.
There we
But
go.
that the stress and gut obviously are related. We hope that you'll join us next week for Let's Talk Gut Health, Terry and myself, for another enlightening 30 minutes of Let's Talk Gut Health. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Absolutely.
guys.
Thank
See
you
ya.
so much. Take
Bye
care
now.
now. Have a
You
good rest
too.
of your day.
You too. Be
Bye-bye.
blessed.
You too. Bye-bye.